Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Klickan and today I'm going to show you how to create a fire slicing intro in Adobe After Effects. So let's look at the intro we're going to create. So there you have the intro, and now let us create it in Adobe After Effects. So what we're going to do, we're going to start a new project, name this Fire Slice, and we're going to stick to 10 seconds on this one. So I'm going to click on OK. And the first thing we want to do is actually to create the scratch effects. So how do we do that? We're going to zoom in on the background here, and we're going to choose the pen tool and click somewhere here and here. And we're actually going to click on the same again, but this time just hold this one and go to Convert Vortex tool. We're just going to drag it out to create a scratch. Something like this. I'm just going to drag it out a little bit more. That looks fine. So you can actually see the scratch now. And what we're going to do now, we're going to click on this layer and pre-compose it. Move all attributes to the new composition and click OK. And now we're going to go up here to the pen tool again and click on the pen tool, not that converted vortex tool. We're actually going to zoom in on this. We're going to click on the edge here and the edge here. So actually you can see that you can get a line. And I actually want this to be more in the middle, just like that. And now we're actually going to create the effects that's created in this scratch. So we're going to go up here, effects and presets. If this not is here, you can actually go up here to Windows and add it here. But it's already here, so we're going to type in stroke. We're going to add the stroke effect to this and just lay it here. And here you can actually make it bigger or smaller. So I'm gonna stick to 5 on this one. And brush hardness 100. And we don't want it to reveal itself right away, so we're actually gonna click on this one and go to reveal ordinary image, just like that. And we can see right now when I click the start, you can actually see it's disappearing. So we're actually gonna switch this one, the end, to 0 as well. Yes, so we're gonna play with this too. So what you're gonna do, just click this two, go down here to effects, stroke, and we actually want it here to be 0. So we're gonna drag this on the timeline, something like that, and drag up the starting point to there. So now we're gonna check how it looks. So actually you can see the scratching is coming here, so that's good. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna create this on timeline, so we actually have the first scratch. And now we're gonna select this layer and duplicate it on edit and duplicate. So there we actually have the second one. And now drag this layer away from it. Make sure that you have the whole layer, otherwise you're just gonna move the line here, and then it don't gonna work. So just make sure that you switch the whole layer here. So we actually want it to be on this this line. So we're gonna click on this one, rotation tool. Yeah, we're actually gonna switch it something like that. I think it looks pretty nice. We're gonna drag this one up to here. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So there we actually have it. And actually I don't want this to appear when this does. So we're actually gonna go down for here and go in for effects and stroke. And here we can just delete these ones. We can actually delete these ones. And here we actually want it to be on 0 here as well. So we're gonna go for 0. And we're gonna click in this too, and we're actually gonna drag it something like here. We're gonna draw up this to 100. So then you're gonna see how it gonna looks. So you can actually see the first scratch is coming, and then the second one. So let's create 2 more of these. So we're gonna go just like that. Let's see, there we go. And we're gonna click on this layer, duplicate it once again, and make sure that you drag the whole layer again out of this. And you know it started here, so we're gonna rotate this as well. Something like that. It's looked nice. So we're gonna drag this one to this point. There we go. And go down here, effects, stroke, and make this to, we can actually delete this one again and make the starting point to 0. We're just gonna drag it out a little bit more, something like this, to create the revealing. So you can actually see how this looks. You can actually see that here. There we go. There we have the first step. And now I actually want as a fourth one. So we're just gonna duplicate this layer again, and we're gonna select it, edit, and duplicate. And make sure that you drag the whole layer again. We're just gonna rotate it to here. So make sure something like that. I think that's look pretty nice. So we're gonna drag it up here, and I actually want this to be a little bit bigger. So just make in the corner, just drag it out. We're just gonna fix this a little bit more. There we go. There we go. So actually gonna drag it up here. And the same thing here, just go down here to effect, stroke, and make this to 0. So just gonna drag it up there, and we're gonna click in the starting point and drag it a little bit further, so we can do it something like here, and drag it up to 100%, the starting point. Remember to have different points in this timeline, otherwise it's not gonna work. So let's see on the first thing that we have done. We have actually created the slicing effect right now. So it looks just like this on the first step. So there we go. So now let's create the text and the fire. So let's create the text and the fire. So we're gonna start with the text. So we're gonna right click here and create a new text. Here you can actually type in your name. So I'm gonna type in mine for now. Just like that, and it's gonna drag the text just above the scratch. But if we add a background to this now, we're actually gonna see the text the whole time, and we don't want that. So we're actually gonna create a mask for it. So right click on the text, create a mask from text, and we actually want it to reveal here in the timeline. So we're just gonna click on this arrow here and go down for transform, and opacity, we actually want it to be 0. So click the stopwatch, and we want it to reveal itself something like here. So actually gonna drag this one up a little bit, and a little bit more until half capacity, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and here we want it on full capacity. So there we go. So we're just gonna check how this looks. If I just click out this one, so here you can actually see the scratching on the start, and there the name is revealing. So that's good. That looks pretty nice. So now let's create the fire for it with some glowing as well. So we're just gonna mark all these layers, right click, do a pre-compose, and move all layers into the new composition, and click OK. And now we're actually gonna add the fire effects. So we're just gonna make like this, so we can actually see it. Go up for effects and presence. If you don't find it here, go for Windows, as I told you before. And we're gonna add practical noise fractal noise. So just drag this one. We're actually going to zoom in a little bit more. You can actually see the difference in the scratches and even in the text. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to click on contrast, make it to 200, brightness to -25. There we go. So you can actually see something is going on in here in the text and in the scratches. So what we're going to do now, we actually want it to move inside as well. So we're going to click on the evolution button and click Alt and click again. So we came down to this one. And here in the box here, we're actually going to type in time star 100 and just click away from it. And now you can actually see it's starting to move inside the scratches and in the text. So that's good. That's good. And now we're actually gonna make this like a fire color. So add to this one, colorama. We're gonna drag this one to the beneath this. And as you can see right now, we actually have some pretty big shapes here. So we're gonna fix them. Go into modify and click out this one, modern alpha. You can see the difference if I click it in again. So there we go. And now we're gonna go for output cycle. And here you can actually make the fire color. So you can see like this. And you can also add a green or a blue one. So we're gonna stick to fire on this one, just like that. But I think actually this looks pretty boring. So we're actually gonna add a glow effects as well. Just like that. So drag this beneath this. And the only thing we're gonna change here is actually the glow radius. So we're gonna make it like 30. So there you can actually see it's shining a little bit more. So now the last thing we're gonna do is actually add a background to this one. So we're gonna go up here to file and import a background that I actually have. I'm gonna go for a gray one. So import. And as you can see now, we actually have the background here. So I'm just gonna drag it below this layer, just like that. So now let's see how it looks. So we're gonna go for composition and preview. So here you can actually see the whole intro, the scratches and the text revealing. So that's pretty much it for this fire slicing tutorial. I hope that you enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you find this tutorial useful. If you do, please give it a thumb up, and don't forget to check out my Twitch channel, Klicken Official, for more gameplay and tutorials. Until next time, boys and girls, take care now. Bye bye then.